Hello, welcome back to the Villa View. Get me to bed.
What an intro that is. So Dan, it's 11:45 on Thursday night. Transfer window is now slammed shut, as they say. Madness has happened today. Who knows what's going on? I feel like I'm in an absolute daze as to where we're at. We've been waiting to record this video for the last hour. It looked like Leroy Fer was the man that was going to come in, and then all of a sudden Villa have tweeted that Tom Carroll signed for the club out of nowhere. So what is going on?
Great stuff, mate. I mean, I'm seriously evaluating my life at this point. What's the time? 20 to 12. I should not be sitting here recording a video, but the transfer deadline day has just been absolutely nuts. Like, it's made me look stupid on a number of occasions, because things that I knew for fact were happening fell through in the last minute, and then just from nowhere we signed a different player from that club. It's been a long day, and I hate to think what the people who work at Villa feel like, because I think it just shows that. I said in the podcast about I've seen a picture of Adebayor in a Villa shirt, like he was going to sign. Like, things have happened today like that. I can't get my head around it, to be honest.
What do you think's happened with that Fer deal? Is it a failed medical or something like that, or is it just it was never on in the first place and it was all rumour?
It was on. I know it was on. I've had too much contact with people today to think that they were all wrong. It was on. It's just something's happened. I can only presume, and don't quote me, I can only presume that he's failed a medical or something, because to then just go and get another player from the same club last second, it just seems bizarre. You've not heard Tom Carroll's name all day, and then the next thing you know, he's been announced. It's just madness.
I've just seen a tweet. I've got my laptop up and Sky's on. I mean, this video is just going to be a bit of a mess, to be honest, but just seen a tweet saying apparently the Carroll deal was completed 3 minutes before the deadline.
It doesn't surprise me.
Obviously this wasn't we're ringing up Swansea 5 minutes before the deadline going, have you got anyone else, because Fer's failed his medical. Like, this surely goes on longer than that. I don't know what's going on at this point. Like you say, I want to go to bed.
I'd really doubt that we were in for both of them. I don't think that would make too much sense. I mean, it also...
Surely you can't get a deal over the line in what, even say an hour even?
I really don't know. I mean, it all sounds a mess, but how much of a mess must Swansea be? I mean, I question why they're even giving us players that are ahead of us in the league.
Well, there's another player that was going to be going on his way to Leeds, apparently, from Swansea. I can't remember his name. And that's fallen through as well, that Swansea have bailed on that deal. So I don't know whether something similar had happened with Fer as well, that they've suddenly gone, oh no, we can't do this now. I don't know. This is the big talking point of the day, this deal and this whole Swansea saga with a couple of players. But to just pop up with Tom Carroll out of nowhere, I don't know, it's all just very weird. Good player though.
Well, I've always thought he was decent. He's certainly very, very tidy on the ball. I've just seen someone put on Twitter that, like, at the current time with Jack out, we've got 3 left-footed central midfielders, which feels a little lopsided. But then I guess actually if you played with 3 right-footed central midfielders, you probably wouldn't even register it. But I don't know, because left-footers are more rare, it feels like a bigger deal.
Do you think all 3 of them will play at the same time?
I think they will to begin with, because Jack's not going to be fit in the next couple of weeks, until the next couple of weeks by the looks of things. So I imagine now they'll start. I mean, I think Tom Carroll's played football this year, which gives him or this season, which gives him a bit of a one-upmanship on anyone else that we've bought in, because it feels like we're kind of we've bought a few players who haven't played much football. Players that come through the Spurs academy tend to be decent players. As I say, he's definitely a good ball player. My worry with him would be he's a little lightweight, but I've not seen loads of him. That's just an opinion I've formed from a few times. I would have seen him on telly or seen him live at Villa Park, but I can see him as kind of a Smith player, if that makes sense. A little bit like Ryan Woods, quite small frame, likes to get on the ball, so he kind of fits that mould of a Smith player, in my opinion.
It's another one through the doors now. That makes it 5 for Villa now. We'll go through those very briefly. Obviously Kalinic and Courtney House came in. You've obviously spoken about those a little bit already, as they were sort of earlier on in the window. Since then, I'm going to have to refer to my list because I've totally forgot who we've got. So today we've had Tyrone Mings has come in today. Frederick Guilbert? I don't know.
It's a great effort.
I'm sure I've seen somebody call him Freddie Gilbert somewhere. So let's just call him Guilbert for ease. How do you assess deadline day for Villa if you had to give it a rating out of 10?
I'm not sure. I remain to see, really. I think when we got Kalinic in so early, I was thinking that, right, we've identified what we want here. And I know transfers aren't easy, and obviously it comes down to the last minute for a reason, because no club wants to operate in the way that a lot of clubs have done today. They can't possibly, they can't want to. So I thought we'd get stuff done a lot earlier. Tyrone Mings I like as a player, although I must say I thought he'd primarily be a left back. For Villa, I thought left back was his primary position. That's where he made his name in the Championship for Ipswich. So I was quite surprised to hear Smith saying he's been brought in to be a centre back. I mean, he's about 6'4", 6'5", so in a way it does make sense. I've said about the need for having some left-footed centre backs for offering balance the way we want to play. So again, it fits that bill.
Do you think that might be a temporary sort of suggestion from Smith, that he'll play centre back for, I don't know, 2 months, whatever, to sort of give Chester a rest, or to partner Chester, and then eventually over time he'll move to left back?
I mean, I'd imagine if Neil Taylor was to pick up an injury, Mings would go to left back.
Yeah.
I mean, he's obviously he's a few weeks away. It's when Twanzebe comes back, really, with suddenly then if Mings is a centre back, we've gone from having no centre backs to too many. It's quite strange, isn't it? But Smith will have identified, just because we haven't got them in on time or in good time, Smith will have had these players identified. I would have thought he likes a specific type of player, Dean Smith. So if he thinks Tyrone Mings can come in and play centre back, then I trust him.
Know much about the French guy?
No, not really, other than he's going back to his club that we've signed him from. I don't really know much about him. I've seen a brief highlights reel of him. He looks like he likes a slide tackle, but that's pretty much all I've been able to garner so far.
Good info.
It's a young signing for the future, isn't it? You'd imagine that Hutton and El Mohammadi won't be here next season, so Bree's gone off on loan, who I'm sure we'll talk about in a minute. So you'd imagine it'll be him and Bree competing for the right back spot next season, which kind of fits the young and hungry mantra that Dean Smith's after.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of maybe disappointment that we've loaned him back, and that he probably should be sticking around to play, but it's one of those things. It's either maybe a financial situation that it's easier on the club to loan him back and pay for him in the summer, maybe a financial personal deal that he doesn't get a loyalty bonus or something for leaving in this season, in this window, so he wants to stay, or the club value him as a player and they want to keep him. There's a lot of different variables for why a player goes back on loan to the club they're signed from, but if that's the sort of downside that you have to go through to secure the player services in January to get him in the summer, rather than maybe missing out in the summer because it's all of a sudden, I don't know, PSG are in for him or whoever, that's what you have to go through, isn't it, to get the guy over the line.
I suggest a young French lad as well isn't going to come in and immediately hit the ground running in the Championship, isn't going to immediately settle, so send him back and help him keep his former club in the league, that there, and he comes in and then gets a full pre-season. A bit like Bree came and had the odd game when he first joined and always looked a little shaky. It's difficult to come in mid-season, and he's never really recovered from that. Bree, in my opinion, he's never really had a run of game. So in a lot of ways, I think that it does make sense to loan him back. In some ways, it would be more beneficial to loan him to an English team, but I'd imagine
do that, might as well keep him, don't you?
Yeah, well, it's just a case of him learning, making mistakes somewhere else, isn't it, in the league below, or something like we look like we're going to be doing with a lot of our young players, learning on the job elsewhere. But like you say, the transfers, there's so much goes into it. There could be so many reasons behind why so many things happen. It's difficult to speculate.
We'll go on to the outs then. Obviously, there's been a lot of movement today. Specifically, we've had Dor Hayes went to Cambridge, is it?
Yeah.
Scott Hogan's gone to Sheffield United, which, I mean, we pretty much knew about when you recorded the podcast. We said that was going to happen, and that was confirmed today.
Yeah.
James Breeze, you just mentioned, has gone to Ipswich with Paul Lambert. Jacob Bedu's gone on a free transfer to, I can't remember who, somebody in League One, I think.
Scunthorpe, I think it was. Well, that just sums up Villa's transfer business in general over the last few years. You sign a young kid who's barely played for £1 million, and then 2 years later you're giving him away.
Yeah, but I forgot we paid like half decent money for him as well.
Brilliant stuff.
Blackett Taylor has gone to Warsaw on loan, and Harry McCurdy has also gone out on loan again. Can't remember where. It's almost midnight. There's a bulk there of under 23 players. 1, 2, 3, 4, where they probably should have got, maybe if you include Bree as well, to be honest. That's 5. they probably should have gone out last year.
I mean, I hope we don't get too many injuries.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I sort of been trying to speak to a couple of people today because I know obviously I knew we were going to record some kind of video tonight. I want to sort of try and get some thoughts out to what I was actually thinking about today. And part of me feels like we've weakened our overall squad, but then again, none of these players were playing anyway. So it's not like we've lost anyone that was like, oh, we've lost Tammy Abraham or we've lost John McGinn or whoever, like a big name, or even a player that's in the 18. Like Jonesbury hasn't even been on the bench a lot of the time. Scott Hogan's been a hit and miss. Hepburn Murphy, Dor Hayes, Blackett Taylor, McCurdy, they've never been in and around the first team really, apart from the odd cup game. So we're not going to miss those, and they get competitive football instead of playing under 23s, which will be massive for their development, and will show Villa whether they're capable of making it or not. That's all good moves, but then you look at James Bree to Ipswich. I mean, could you argue that he's should be fighting for first choice right back? Do they think that he's good enough to do that? Because a lot of people will look at it and go, he's probably as good as Hutton and Elmo. They might not be here next year, so just stick with Bree, put him at right back. But then he goes to play bottom of the league Championship football, and Scott Hogan goes to a team that, as it stands, have probably got a better chance of ending up in the Premier League than us. Yeah,
and I think he'll score goals there. If I'm being honest, if he can get in the team, I think he'll score goals the way Sheffield United play. That I said in the podcast, I think that move kind of felt like a bit of an admission that we don't think we can go up. You're obviously helping a promotion rival get points if Scott Hogan does well. I know if you play them, he can't play. But it's a weird one.
Obviously, Hogan is an obvious choice that if he scores goal for Sheffield United and they go up, and we just miss out on the playoffs or something, that's an obvious one. But is there any there that stand out to you as being almost a bit of a disappointment?
If you could guarantee me that Tammy's going to stay fit for the rest of the season, then I would say no. But obviously, if he gets a knock, we're then short on goal scorers. I know Hogan hasn't really ever hit the ground running for Villa, bar that one spell. But there's obviously something going on there, because if Smith isn't playing him, if someone who's got the best out of him before, if Smith doesn't want to know, there's something up somewhere, isn't there?
Yeah.
That says to me it's a problem with the player. So again, you just never know the reasons for these things. That's the strange thing. I'd describe it as an interesting window. Yeah. I'm still not really sure what I make of it. I think I need some time to evaluate what I think. I mean, we needed to get some centre backs in, so with Elphick coming back and getting a couple of centre backs in as well, we've obviously done that. My thinking is, with the players that we've brought in, if everyone's fit, are any of them, other than possibly Mings ending up at left back, are any of them in the team?
You could argue that there's probably one space up in the midfield that could go.
I think when everyone's fit, I still think that midfield is, even with Tom Carroll there, I still think Hourahan, McGinn and Grealish is the better midfield. Tom
Carroll comes in and performs. One of those three that you just mentioned won't play, and he will get to. You also got Lansbury and Bjarnason and Jedinak and Whelan and all these players that are still here.
We're still quite bloated.
Until the summer at least. There's going to be some sort of rotation at some point, and these players will all get their chance. The whole Fur and Carroll thing is weird to me.
I know, I can't think of anything about anything else.
I'm reading a tweet now from Villa Report, which is a quote from a journo. It says it was more Villa backing out of the Leroy Fur deal than a case of Swansea pulling the plug. Club were working on both Carroll and Fur deals at the same time.
So was Tom Carroll just like waiting in Leroy Fur's car, and then Leroy Fur comes back out and says,
mate, they don't want me no more, you can go in.
It's not happening, Tom, and you go.
Surely you make that decision well before deadline day? Or does Swansea go, oh, by the way, Tom Carroll's available, and you go, oh, see you later, Leroy. We fancy Tom instead. Like, it's just so weird. Like you say, I can't think about anything else at this point. So this whole transfer window has just been a manic day and a manic month. At this point, I feel like I don't really know what I've witnessed or what's been going on. So we're going to move on very briefly to the Reading game, just because, I mean, I've put about Reading in the title of this video, so we're going to have to talk about it. But it is 5 past midnight at this point. The game is in just over 24 hours. Daniel will go in. What do you think?
I was looking forward to seeing Bacuna again, but he's gone to Cardiff, so he won't be playing against us. Another one of our ex-players who ends up in the Premier League while we're still in the Championship.
Out of all the players that have ended up in the Premier League, he's probably the least deserving of actually getting there.
He's not exactly been smashing it at Reading. I think they've had a high turnover of players, to be honest, in January, so I'm not really sure what to expect from them. I'm still a bit bitter about the game in August that we ended up drawing 1-1.
Yeah.
That still upsets me a little bit, so it'd be nice to beat them. It'd be nice to beat them anyway, but again, it'd be nice to beat them because I'm going. Dolan's not great in away day. I'm sure every time I've been to an away game with Dolan, we've lost.
Dan, because I know this video is dragging on and you want to go to bed, and so do I. Before you go though, let's go through a start 11. Who do you think will play?
I don't know. Kalinic in goal. Hutton right back. I'd imagine Elphick and Mings, he'll give Chester a rest. Left back Taylor. Whelan, Connor and McGinn. I don't see Tom Carroll coming straight in. Adoma, El Ghazi and Abraham, I would guess.
I think that first team pretty much picks itself at this point, doesn't it, until those new signings can come in, because it could just be that Mings doesn't even feature either, and we just roll out with Chester still. But at some point we always keep saying that Chester needs to come out, and if we've got a player that's coming to play centre-back and he's fit and ready to go, chuck him in. Prediction, let's end with it, because this has just been, I mean, it's not preview, is it?
Well, I feel like I should probably predict us to lose, because every time I predict us to win, we don't. Having said that, I'm just going to go for a mad 3-1 to Villa.
Oh, I feel like the late night's got to do with that prediction.
They know that every time I've watched them at the back, they've not been good. You think Tammy might be able to get something out of them. The Reading view will probably be sitting here saying every time I've watched Villa's back line, they've not been good, so who knows? They've
won 5 games all season, which is the joint second lowest. We should win, shouldn't we? Surely you're playing a team 22nd. I know it's away, but you've got to be winning, haven't you? If you want to be serious about trying to get into the top 6, you've got to be going to places like this and winning.
The run needs to start happening at some point, doesn't it? So why not now?
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-1. I think it'll be tighter than you think, but I still think we're easily good enough to go there and win.
I mean, I've predicted 3-1, but if someone was to rummage through my head, they'd say you don't believe that. That's not what that is. That isn't what you think. So why have you said it?
Yeah, at this point, I don't even know what this video is. We're just rambling on at this point. So we'll end it there. We'll call it a day. Call it a night. It's 12:15. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we'll see you again soon.
If you enjoyed that video, why not watch another? Click the video choices on screen now to go and watch them in full. Be sure to subscribe to the channel by clicking our logo there on the left. Easy peasy.